life of the party. I'm Amy Chamberlain, chef and owner of the Perfect Wife Restaurant and the Other Woman Tavern. Here on my show, we generally bring friends of mine in to show me recipes of food that they cook that they like to bring to potlucks. Well, in church one day, my friend CourtneyWeir and I were talking. She said, I really want to be on your show. I said, oh, well, what do you make? And she said, not really anything. So I said, well, what can you do? And she said, I can set a mean table. So I thought, well, if you're having a potluck party, the food's important, but if the guests walk in and your table is gorgeous, I think it's all downhill from there. So Courtney, come on out and show me how you do this.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So here we are, and we have the lovely table that you've made, and we're going to sit down and you're going to show me all the tricks of the trade.
Okay,
all
sounds
right.
good.
So this is a table that I would never in a million years imagine doing myself. You've obviously put a lot of thought into it, or maybe not. Maybe
No, not so much. It was colorful and it was fun, and so it went on the table. That's kind of how I do it. So no white tablecloths, white napkins, nothing like that at my place.
There's hardly anything white on here. The butter, maybe.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of handmade things on the table.
I do. You know, little things like, you know, little name tags and the little menu with a little bunny when I.
That menu is the
With
cutest
the little
thing.
carnation thing, the little
Cottontail, and a little grass.
Yeah, so yeah, all the stuff I just, you know, collect over the years, and dependent upon whatever the occasion is, grab a theme or a color scheme and go to town. Usually I wind up pilfering my mother's corner cabinet and checking out her china cabinet as well. So
good for you. Lucky for
yeah.
my mom, I've never done that. So we have on this side the kids setting.
This is a kids setting, and you know, I think the kids certainly can use china. They don't need plastic or paper or whatever. This little plate my son actually made, I thought it was very Eastery, so I thought that should go there.
Well,
but yeah, just fun, and then a little take-home treat and a little ornament, and you know, fun little straws and stuff.
Cute, just a glass that doesn't break.
A glass that doesn't break.
Very
yeah.
nice. Duncan would appreciate that.
Yeah. And then on this side, just a little more grown-up version with a crazy napkin ring and charger and plate and nothing, just fun colors. It's nothing too extravagant. But.
So do you go out shopping for things when it's time to set a table, or?
I generally go down to my basement where I've got a ridiculous amount of everything. I just, you know, I've got candlesticks and lanterns and plates and silverware, and if I don't have it, my mother does, and we swap off. So
that's
yeah.
great.
So if it's the 4th of July, we've got the red, white, and blue, and if it's Valentine's Day, we've got pink and red, and so yeah.
Oh, that's so neat.
It's always something.
And, yeah, I guess you're inspired by the occasion and the theme, color-wise, as I would be making food.
Right.
You know, I think about what's in season and colors that do go together on the plate and textures and things like that, and I think that you're doing the same thing with ceramic and cotton and flowers and...
But the food is totally an afterthought in my case.
Well, we make a good team.
I panic when it comes to that part.
But you did come up with a few food items for us, didn't you?
I did. And again, it was all about the aesthetics. Is it too hard? No. It's, you know, it had to be something that was simple, I could wrap my head around, and looked really cute.
Yeah.
So, you know, we did these little, and we're going to talk about it in the kitchen, but these little fruit cups that I thought were kind of cute, and these little bunny rolls, and so yeah, we've got some fun stuff that wasn't too difficult. Even I could do it.
I think everything that you brought to the table, except for the bunny rolls, is made without a stove, pretty much.
Yes,
right?
That's one of my things.
Even our and pretty much without a recipe, so that's perfect for the person who can set a beautiful table and then whip something up, and then that's a perfect potluck situation for you, because you say, I've set the table.
So somebody bring the food.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty much. Works out that way.
Yeah, outstanding. So where did you get your desire to do this? Did this just come naturally to you growing up? Have you always been, like, when you were a little girl, was your room gorgeous?
What do you think? Of
Yes.
course it was. Of course it was. Yeah, no, it's always, you know, I grew up in a family of artists, and so everything's, everything's about making things look pretty, and yeah.
Were you tidy?
Never a day in my life, no.
Because you always picture, you know, people whose rooms
No,
are...
creative people are messes, yeah.
Yeah, I figured if I could see a part of the floor, my room was clean.
Yeah, well. Yeah, not much has changed there.
Yeah. That for me either, for sure. We also made some passion fruit lemonade.
Yes, and so, yeah, and then we just did something fun with our little parasols and little fruit on there. Again, no oven.
Right?
Right.
Yes.
So,
Fresh.
yeah.
Fresh, delicious, springy.
So, yeah, and I'm ready for you to teach me how to make something that will actually pass as an entree.
Yes, well, this is going to be very easy. You only need a stove for a brief moment and an oven, and the recipe I've printed out is quite easy to follow. Hopefully you'll all think so when you bring it home and try it. And we came up with this because when we were talking about what we'll make to go with our spring table, we thought, well, we're doing a kid's side and we're doing a grown-up side, so we'll have to come up with something that the kids will eat. And I thought of scalloped potatoes with ham and onions and asparagus on top. It's creamy, it's delicious. The kids will eat the asparagus because it's got cheese on it. And so I came up with this recipe. It is simple, and I do believe that Courtney is going to try it on Easter Sunday for her family.
I'm threatening. Yeah. We'll see.
So let's go in the kitchen, and
right.
we'll talk about what you didn't make, or bake, I should say.
Yeah, lead the way.
And we'll learn how to make the dinner.
Terrific. Sounds
Okay,
good.
great. Be right back. So here we are, Courtney. We're at our no-cook station.
I still am nervous just being in a kitchen, but it's okay.
Well, these beautiful little melon cups. Show us how you did that.
Pretty cute. I did them all myself. So just started with, you know, an orange. We used a little lime there too. Grapefruit. You can use, depending upon how big you want them to be. Just sliced it in half this way, right?
Yep. On the equator.
On the equator. I learned that today. And then just cut around like this and hollow it out. And then we put our little melon balls. Well, the best thing is these are Parisian scoops, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the way you do it. Otherwise, you have I was doing semicircles. That was my problem, right? I wasn't doing orbs. So in order to do the orb, you go like this, and then you go all the way around, and then you have a perfect little, right?
Beautiful, right?
Boy, my kids are going to eat now. Tiny little watermelon orbs.
Yeah, we don't want tater tots. We want Parisian scoops of melon for dinner.
That's better. That's better anyway. So that's it. So we just did, you know, a couple different kinds of melon and hollowed out in there and a little sprig of mint. It looks pretty darn cute.
Put that on the table for when people arrive. It's a little
and you can serve it, you know, this way, or if you don't have the nerves to do all this.
Yeah, buffet, that would be beautiful.
Yeah. So that was the first thing, and again, I went solely on the color and the adorableness of it. And then we did these little nests, right? How cute!
Cutest things ever.
So we took these little noodly guys, chow mein noodles, and then for the light ones, we did what? The butterscotch and a double boiler.
Yeah, 1 bag of butterscotch morsels and 1 bag of these. And you melted the butterscotch.
I did.
Yep, she used a stove.
I did.
And a rubber spatula, and then form them with her hands.
And then this one, we used the chocolate chips and peanut butter.
Yes.
And then we just put the little, formed them up, and we used these little Cadbury eggs because the scale was just right. But you could use jelly beans.
Yeah,
but
great.
I thought those were cute. And they're chocolate, so that
Yeah.
immediately makes them better.
Right, yeah. Right. Anything that doesn't have chocolate to me is maybe not even dessert.
That's right.
Breakfast.
So those I thought were fun. And then our little bunny rolls.
Oh, our little bunny rolls.
But that I was mostly just like the idea girl on that. I didn't do much with that. So.
Well, and I too didn't do much. I had Billy, who works for me, make this wonderful cottage cheese dill dough, and then he actually did all the experimentation for us. And we found that, let me just show you here on the cutting board. Let's move this little thing here. You want to snip across the back. It looks like you might want to do that, but once they bake, you can see how they stick up, so you don't want them to do that. So you cut them like that, and then in order to keep the eyes in place,
this is the creepy part.
You have to poke where the eyes would go. And Billy said, make sure it's a little lower than you think, because as the bread rises, so do the eyes. And so we bake them like that. And you want to make sure that the dough has done its second rise. It's ready to go in the oven once you do the clipping. You don't want it to sit around too long, because then it will overproof and get kind of bleh looking. And you don't have to make your own dough. You can buy, the Rich's bread dough in the freezer section and make your little balls and try your bunnies. And we put them in the oven for about 10 minutes. And we brush them with melted butter just on them when they come out of the oven to give them this beautiful little sheen. And sprinkled them with a little bit of salt.
And then you served it on that little shredded spinach.
Yes,
that was
I
really
did
cute
at the
too.
restaurant. Yes, it was like a little bunny in the grass.
It was cute.
So cute. It was a hit.
It was genius.
So if you're having a party, you have to have a cocktail. And we came up with one that's good for boys and girls and babes and dudes.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we made some lemonade with passion fruit juice, which is so good. We just made it up.
Good.
And we
So
tasted
good.
it and we were like, oh.
And I did the ice cubes.
And Courtney made
The ice cubes
these
with the
beautiful
strawberries. Yeah.
strawberry ice cubes. And you put them in the passion fruit lemonade, and that is gorgeous. So, Courtney and I are babes. So, we put Prosecco in our passion fruit lemonade.
We deserve it.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
All right, now that you've taught me how to make all these beautiful things, I'm going to teach you how to make dinner.
Okay.
All right.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
We'll be right back. All right, Courtney, it's the moment of truth.
Let's do this.
I'm going to teach you how to cook something.
All right, I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right, you're starting with the bechamel.
Yes, I am.
Which is our flour and butter, which is cooked with cooking it about 4 or 5 minutes to get the starch out of it. Since it's been on the stove a little bit, it usually looks more like wet sand, but we're going to go with it. And now you're going to whisk in 1.5 cups of milk and 1/2 cup of heavy cream.
Okay, and that's all pre-mixed in here,
Yep,
right?
Yep.
Okay.
And so while you're doing that, I'm going to turn.
Ah, is it supposed to do that?
Yes, it is. Keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
You didn't tell me it was going to do this.
I'm sorry. Make sure you get in the edges there of the pan.
I'm also dribbling.
That's all right.
Wow, look at
The
this.
cleaning lady can get that, right?
All right.
There you go. Keep going.
Keep
Add
going.
the whole thing
All
up.
right.
There
I don't
you
have
go.
to be.
Perfect.
I don't have to be too slow.
Well, you sort of at the beginning, but then it starts to cook a lot and thickens
Okay.
up. So
And I keep doing this.
yes,
Just
you're going to
whisk and
keep
whisk and
doing
whisk.
that. Yep.
Okay.
And I am slicing potatoes on the mandolin. This is a mandolin. This is a professional mandolin that costs a little over $100, but you can get one, a Japanese one, that's a lot less money. But these are great tools because they slice any thickness that you want, and it can also make some juliennes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, look at that.
And you
So-
have not yet lost a digit?
Not an entire digit.
No.
No. But probably a piece of palm or the top of a thumb.
Oh, God. See? Dangerous.
It's all in a day's work. All right, so how's that going?
Why don't you tell me?
We're going to turn that up and thicken that up.
It's hot.
Yeah, watch your scarf. That could be a
That would
kitchen
be
disaster.
cute. Yep.
So what we're going to do is when this thickens up, we're going to put some bechamel on the bottom, layer potatoes. Then previously I had sauteed some onions and I mixed them with ham. This is probably a little too much for this, but that's what I had left over after making your dinner this afternoon. I'm using Vermont Smoke and Cure boneless ham. This is up in northern Vermont. They do all of their smoking and curing in Vermont. Unfortunately, they don't buy all of their pork from Vermont, but it is a Vermont company and they do a great job. Their stuff is delicious. So their logo is Keeping Vermont Farmers Smokin'. So we know what's coming next from the legislature, right? They're just ahead of the game.
This is really hot.
It's hot and the whisk is getting hot, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we kind of want this to be
I have to be more vigorous with my
thicker.
whisking.
No, I don't know. I may have overcooked the roux because of the time starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And we need it there. It's thickening.
Thickening? Okay. You want me to do this while you do other stuff?
Sure. Well, I'm pretty much, I can just do some more potatoes.
No, it's thickening.
All right. Good, good, good. And then when that comes to a boil, it should be as thick as it's going to get. So we're close to a boil there. I brought 7 potatoes. I don't think I'm going to use 7 potatoes, but we'll see how it goes. So one important thing is to have all of your things ready to go before you start slicing the potatoes, because you can't get your potatoes sliced ahead of time because then they're going to turn brown. Remember that, Courtney.
Yes, things are happening over here.
Oh, excellent. Okay, here, I'm going to give you a towel to hold the pot.
Okay.
Look at that. It's nice and thick.
Yeah. And
All right.
pour it all?
Nope.
No.
Like a tiny bit, just to cover the bottom.
More?
Yep, a little more. Okay, that's good. All right, so we're just going to coat the bottom. Okay, and I'm going to get rid of this mandolin now. You just put that aside for me. Thank you. And start building this thing. So I have everything ready, so we're just going to move right along.
So let's assume I don't have a mandolin. I do not. I just would slice a regular.
Yes,
Just
but I'm going to tell you a little tip so that you don't hurt yourself.
you
want
think I would hurt myself?
Well, I'm trying to avoid your scarf catching on fire and cutting your finger.
Okay, fair enough.
Cut a little piece off of this so you have a flat piece and put it down on the flat side, and then it's a lot easier to cut.
There
It's
we go.
safer. Yes,
Okay.
it won't roll around on you.
Okay.
All right. All right, so we're doing that. Then we're going to do some of this.
This is going to be good.
Yeah, what kid's not going to like that? What grown-up's not going to like that, right? Okay, and I want some more bechamel on there, please.
That's me.
And try to pour it from this side so the camera can pick it up.
Okay.
There you go.
About the same amount?
A little bit more. Beautiful, little, there,
Yeah?
perfect.
Okay.
Little salt and pepper. And here we go. with
So we
some
don't do
more.
anything with the asparagus yet?
No, the asparagus actually goes on at the end.
Okay.
I've blanched the asparagus, which means that I cooked it for just a couple of minutes in very hot, boiling salted water. And after 2 minutes, I pulled it out of the water and I shocked it in ice water.
I saw
and,
you do that.
And that helps keep it nice and green.
Oh, is that? Okay. That's
Yeah.
why you do that?
And it also stops the cooking. You know, if you just let it sit like that without putting it in water, it'll, you know, it'll overcook too. So we're going to do this again. So what I blanched that so it's basically cooked. So we're going to cook this. We don't want to cook asparagus for 45 minutes like we're cooking this.
Oh,
So
I
we're going
see.
to cook
Okay.
this
Gotcha.
until the potatoes are tender. And then when they are, we're going to pull it out and put our asparagus on the top. And I'll show you that.
Do I go again?
Yes, you do. And you can empty that whole pot right on there.
You could hardly have done this without me, Amy.
I know. So right. A little more salt and pepper. But look how easy that was. How long did that take us?
It's pretty easy. I think I need a mandolin now.
Yeah, well, you should go get one. Because it will make all of your kitchen chores much easier. Then you can make French fries from scratch.
And then what about what you did with those little leftover?
Oh, yeah.
That was good.
I had leftover potatoes today, so I just tossed them in olive oil, salt, and pepper, spread them out on a metal pan, and put them in the oven for 10, 15 minutes.
They were so good.
Yeah,
These
they were little
crispy
snacks.
little. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was like homemade potato chips, right? Okay, I'm just going to run to the oven quickly and get this other one so I can show the finished product. I have previously put the asparagus on here.
So cute.
And we did a little lattice work. That's kind of springy, right? Like your garden. So there it is. And you can put a little more cheese on there. Melt the cheese. And that is a spring bake. What do you think? Think you can do that, Courtney?
I'm hoping. I'm optimistic. Yes.
I am completely confident
Okay.
that you can do it. I want you to bring me some.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to feed you.
Sure you are, but there probably won't be any leftovers because it's going to be so amazing.
That may be the case.
Well, I think we both learned a lot today.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of that wonderful table setting stuff can be taught, but I certainly am inspired to go ahead and try that.
And you can raid my basement
awesome.
anytime.
That was my very next question. Well, let's have a little toast again to learning, loving, and living well.
All right. Thank you, my friend.
Courtney, this was great and quite a thought-provoking show. We've got some great questions from the audience. One of the questions, thanks Dad, was what do we do with the leftover fruit once we've scooped all of the oranges and lemons and limes? We had the same question when we were doing it. And I squeezed all the juice out of the citrus and I'm putting it on the salad. No waste. So you're having a nice romaine lettuce salad with orange, lemon, and lime juice, olive oil, and some Asiago cheese and arugula. So that's nice and springy and light, and we used it. And what questions did you
someone was asking what the proportions of the passion fruit to lemonade was. And it was you correct me if I'm wrong, 1 passion fruit to 3 parts of lemonade.
Yes.
Correct?
Yep.
And they were concentrate and then we watered them down, is that right? Or
The lemonade was, we made the lemonade from an all-natural concentrate.
Okay.
And so the lemonade itself was the 3 parts. And the passion fruit juice itself was the 1 part.
And that's really just about right.
Yeah, because it has just a little inkling of passion fruit. It makes you think. It makes you fall in love with it.
Whoa.
And you don't know why.
All right. All right. Pour me another one.
And we also had a question of how did we make the strawberry ice cubes. And
I did that. I sliced those little strawberries and I put them right in the little cube tray and then I poured water. Put them in the freezer.
oh my goodness,
That's
you're
it.
amazing.
I know.
And there's other things we could do, right?
Yes. We were talked about herbs or different berries or even passion fruit juice. So
And
you're
then
not watering it down.
Right, you just make the lemonade and you make the passion fruit juice ice cubes. And there you have it. And the question of how much Prosecco should you put in came up. And we said, just keep pouring it in your glass until the bottle is gone. Thank you so much, Courtney. I had such a good time. Thank you, studio audience. Thank you, in TV land. We'll see you next time on Live and Party.
The leather's dry and threading in the crack. You've been on the same road so long, it feels like your dream